Walton World, welcome to Live with Candice and Kris.
Welcome to the show. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Top of
Happy
the week.
Monday.
How you doing? How was your weekend? Catch me up.
It was good. I had a good weekend. How was yours?
It was good. Oh, now you always putting me on the newest TV shows to watch. She keeps me up on. I got to put you on some new music. Listen, if y'all are old school R&B hip hop fan, get the new Diddy album.
I heard
the new Diddy album is front to back. Amazing.
Really?
I listened to it 3 times over this whole weekend.
So he got a hit.
Oh yeah, he's got the old school. He's got the Mary J. Blige. He's got Casey from Jodeci on there. He's got Summer Walker. Who else? Ty Dolla $ign. Everybody you can think of is on this. It's a masterpiece.
Okay.
It's grown and sexy. It's a grown and sexy. Yeah,
Come on, grown and sexy.
It's a grown and sexy album.
You know when he get on stage and he do his little
his little
dance, his little squirm thing.
Yeah.
He ready to roll.
It made me feel like I was in New York in the 90s. It's a feel good album.
In New York in the 90s.
It made me want to go to New York. It made me want to, yes, the album you would like.
Now that's an album that transcends.
Yes. It took me back to the Bad Boy days,
Back in the club.
Yes, you got to do yourself a favor and get the album. It's good.
All right, I will have to do that as soon as I get a chance.
But your weekend was good.
I had an amazing weekend. Yeah, I worked this weekend.
You've been on.
But I had a good weekend.
You've been on the move a lot.
Yeah.
But I like to see you back out on the scene and moving.
And 100%. Yeah, you too. You didn't have any shows, but you have shows coming up. So this is your busy time coming.
Rest of every weekend through 2024, I'm working. So.
That's all right. You better get your rest now.
That's a whole nother show. We were just talking about that before the.
Get your rest now. Man, okay, so this one is interesting. Fact of the day.
Let's go.
At the right time.
Let's go.
So fact of the day, if you are in Korea, it is illegal to get a tattoo unless it's by a medical practitioner.
What?
So in Korea, it is illegal to get a tattoo if you get it from anyone else but a medical practitioner. They're the only one licensed to give tattoos and open tattoo parlors. So without a medical degree in Korea, you cannot administer a tattoo.
Now I wonder what was the logic behind them having to have a medical degree to do a tattoo.
You know what? I can kind of see it because you're dealing with sharp objects
and blood being transfused. I could kind of a medical degree.
Yeah, a medical degree.
If they had to do that in America, it'd be a lot less tattoo artists.
It doesn't mean you can't have one, but to get one there in Korea, you have to have a medical degree.
Well, at least you know the person doing is going to be, should be practicing safety measures if they're medical.
Not only that, you have to have a certain amount of expertise if you got to have a whole medical degree to that extent.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least I know if I go to Korea, my tattoo will be safe.
Yeah.
It'll be a safely done tattoo.
Very safe.
By a medical
Very
professional.
Safe. Very safe. All right, so let's get into it. We're ready to get into this breakdown. So a Dayton public school worker, which they think is a teacher's aide, has been fired after a video went viral of him chasing down a 3-year-old child. Now, the child is autistic and nonverbal. The parents, Robert Tootle, and the mother, Tanisha Lindsay, said they only received the video after Protective Services alerted them of the incident and it was filmed. They had no idea that this was happening, and it's unfortunate. Again, we see a teacher abusing their authority.
You know, it was bad enough that he hit the kid in the head. He then turns around and carries the kid by his feet like a hog, like a tied up hog back to the class. If I would have been the parents, I would have went to jail that day.
Oh,
but definitely. What I didn't know was that autistic kids are like 3 times more likely to be abused.
Absolutely.
Like 1 out of every 5 autistic kids is abused, and a lot of times it goes unreported because some of them are nonverbal. So
they can't defend themselves.
Right. So
they can't defend themselves.
But you know what though, the parents, for them to be young parents, they have handled it with a lot of class. I saw them do an interview, and I was very happy to see them not going off and coming to the school fighting. I'm sure they got a lawsuit on their hands.
I think when it comes to autistic children, you have to make sure that the facility, the faculty, the teachers, everyone knows how to handle that because there's different ranges of the actual spectrum.
Right,
So you may
right,
have
right.
a child that will sit there really quiet, not say anything, play, and then you have some that will just turn up all the way. So you have to have staff that knows how to deal with them. So when you have autistic children, make sure you're putting them in a school
Right.
that's able to deal with them no matter what spectrum they are.
Yeah.
But we got to move on. So a malnourished woman was found in the trunk of a car, and this is really sickening. So she was burned by soldiers of Christ. The woman was badly beaten. She was only 70 pounds
Wow.
when they found her, and they actually confessed to it. So all 5 adults are facing multiple charges, including felony murder, false imprisonment, tampering with evidence, and concealing the death of another person. This is sick.
And from what they're saying, they could be some sort of like religious kind of
Cult.
basically.
Cult.
And you know what? I've always kind of been puzzled about the whole religious cult thing because I understand, I appreciate people who love God and are passionate about God, but I feel like it's a very fine line between being very passionate about God and not using common sense. You know what I'm saying? If they're making you starve yourself and they're abusing you, I don't think that's part of God's. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like some people lose a sense of common sense when they try to follow God. And you have to be careful about who your spiritual guiders are. You know what I mean?
I think, for this case, they say that she was months. This happened from she was being starved for months.
Right.
So I don't know if it's something that they captured her necessarily and then just stopped feeding her.
Yeah.
But they beat her severely too. And I think you're right. I think you do have to be careful who you make your God.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You see a lot of people, they follow churches, they follow religion, but they don't have a personal relationship. And I think that's the difference. You got to have a personal relationship and you got to use wisdom.
Yeah.
You can't just follow everyone.
Like some of these spiritual leaders, they prey on people that they know are vulnerable. You know what I mean? In a space where they might be struggling with something and they need something to cling on to.
Yeah.
And they prey on these people. So it's just
I
unfortunate.
love the ones that say, stand in the $100 line.
So $100 in.
So $1,000 in this line, and God's gonna you gotta be careful, folks.
Yeah,
you gotta learn. You gotta know God for yourself.
Definitely.
Unfortunately, so we gotta move on. Not South Carolina, San Francisco. Like, I get them all confused because they all the same to me. San Francisco police officer is actually in hot water and under investigation. So apparently he has been changing the race of those people that he's been pulling over. So out of 50 encounters reviewed by the Department of Police Accountability in San Francisco, they found that more than half of those people, he actually changed their race. Now, it is legal. They have to, by law, make sure they represent and tell the department if they pulled someone over, jaywalking, felony, whatever it is, they have to be accountable and relate the race of that person.
I mean, but are we really surprised, though?
No.
I'm not surprised.
No.
I'm actually more surprised that this got out than that it is happening. But now that it's been exposed, how are they going to handle this? Because I feel like by how they handle this, they're going to set the tone for all the cops going forward nationally. If they punish this cop and do it the right way, then the other cops will know going forward that they can't lie on these tickets. Because obviously, if they do the report, I'm sure they're pulling over a significantly higher amount of black people than white people.
Well, here's the thing. Here's where it comes dangerous. So a lot of the information that the department needs, that becomes a part of the Census Bureau. That information is really, really important demographically, not just for people pulled over. We know it probably looks like blacks, like we are just the worst of the worst in traffic violations. Whether you're white or black, the person's probably black. But that doesn't help anyone across the board. And this is probably not the only place that it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Let's be real. We know other states are probably doing the same thing.
My question is this considered a federal crime? I mean, it's technically a government document. It's a ticket being issued by a government official. So if he's falsifying information, what's the difference in that and perjury? I feel like they're the same. You're lying. So, I mean, it should be a federal crime.
Well, we got to see how it plays out because it says he's under investigation. So when you hear investigation, hopefully there's some type of penalty to that. You can't report the wrong race.
Can't
Come
be
on.
lying on stuff, man. And on that note, we got to get into what's trending. Film and beauty icon Halle Berry let it be known over the weekend that she is not happy about Drake using her image to promote his new single, Slime Me Out. Now, he used the image from her appearance at the 2012 Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards, and this is to promote his upcoming album, For All the Dogs. Now, according to Halle, Drake's camp reached out to her for permission to use the photo. She said no, and Drake used it anyway. And social media is kind of split in half. Some saying Halle's right, some people are saying she's tripping. I'm kind of on Halle's side. What you think, Cam? I see this look. Oh, yeah.
You know what? I think more than anything else that was significant in this for me is when she said somebody that she holds with the highest respect, she no longer looks at that person that way.
Yeah.
She did that with such class.
She did.
If I was Drake, after hearing that, I definitely wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't use it. And then to use it as an album cover.
Right.
If she said no, then you should have respected that no.
Yeah. And you know what? It couldn't have come. It's such a tone-deaf thing to do for Drake on Drake's behalf at a time when culturally women are being kind of publicly disrespected by men. You got the whole, political, cultural, like women are dealing with disrespect from men. So for Drake to do this, after she said no,
it's tasteless.
And just earlier this year, he got into it with Anna Wintour for using the image of Vogue without their permission. So we're looking at Drake pull these stunts.
It's just not, it's not classy. But to do it to such an icon, too, because Halle Berry is a legend.
Living legend.
That is an icon.
Yes.
Why would you want to piss off one of the most beautiful people on the face of the planet? It no longer has any respect for you, Drake, so it's out the window. I have no respect for you either after doing that. Totally unnecessary.
Yeah.
Totally unnecessary. But if you think that's unnecessary, we got unnecessary coming up. We have a whole lot more. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to What's Trending. So film and media mogul Tyler Perry trended after giving dating advice to women who make more than their men. Take a quick look at this clip.
If you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job and is a good man and is good to you and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you've handled the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Now, a lot of people agree with Tyler Perry, but there were a lot of women who said, no, sir, I don't agree with that. Cam, what do you think about it? I see you ain't you're not feeling that. Come on. I feel it.
No.
I feel it coming.
Look, when you love someone regardless. Right? You might meet someone in different transitional phases of who they are.
Yeah.
If your man makes less, there's nothing wrong with that. There's
Right.
absolutely nothing wrong with that. Love him, respect him. Do not emasculate him. Do not make him feel like he's less. That's okay.
Yeah.
But if you're saying to me, Mr. Perry, if all he can do is pay a light bill and he wants to get into a relationship, he doesn't need to be in a relationship.
Well,
No, he need to wait till he can pay the light bill, the house, maybe a car, some groceries. Because if you're saying that you're in the relationship and something happens, that's different. If you're saying this is what we should expect as a woman, I have a problem with that. I have a problem with that. I think if that's where you are financially, that's fine.
Right.
But you don't need to be in a relationship. You're not ready for that commitment, whether it's emotionally, financially, to have a family. I don't agree with that.
I mean, I kind of, it's a double-sided coin to me because I think, okay, if the man is, in traditional relationships, the man is taught to provide and protect, right? But in the new age of women, they kind of can't provide for themselves. So and we had someone on the show recently, we had a doctor member who talked about this type of thing, and she kind of said what Tyler said. The woman, if her needs are different, if she doesn't need a man to provide, but needs a man to watch the kids.
He said light bill.
That's just one part of the. That's just one part of the thing, Candice.
He said light. We're not talking about him not having enough. I definitely agree.
Right.
It's totally, marriages and relationships are very different right now.
Very different.
But what Tyler is saying and what it seems like he's saying, and most of the women got stuck on light bill.
That's what you folks are know. This deeper than the light bill.
If all he can do is pay a light bill, you want your woman to respect you as well.
Right.
Now, if you're doing your best and your best, that's all you can do. That's all you can do. But don't get into a relationship.
But what if she makes so much money that she literally doesn't need him to pay anything? There are some women out there who have that kind of money.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
So,
but that is something that you both agree to. You both agree to.
Right.
A lot of men nowadays will know, because there's a flip side to that.
Yeah.
So the woman makes a lot of money. She makes more money than them. A lot of these broke man situation, they want somebody to take care of them. It's a totally different world. We always talk about the other way, but we never talk about the men that are expecting women to take care of them.
Sugar mama.
You go out now, you go to dinner. What happened to old days when the man used to buy you a drink? Now the man that must stand by the bar and look. They're looking for someone to take care of them. It's totally different.
I think that when it comes to this whole dynamic of, the women making more, y'all have to realize this is pretty much foreign territory. This is new. This is not nothing that you can go to your grandparents for advice on, because there weren't female CEOs back then. There weren't female bosses, so they can't give you advice on this. I feel like as we navigate through this new kind of dating in our culture, I feel like these types of conversations are going to get a little touchy. But I don't think Tyler was wrong in the message. I think you focusing on the light bill.
No,
She heard
no.
light bill. She can't let go of the light bill.
He's not. He's absolutely right.
Right,
in his message. But you have a lot of women now who are overachievers. We're going to school. We're looking for those positions. Men, you just need to come up. You need to look higher too. You need to aim higher.
Yeah.
If you want a woman at a certain caliber, you have to bring something to the table. That may not always be the finances, but are you bringing help at home with the kids? Are you making sure that there's a safe place? There's other things that go in line with that. It's not just this.
It's not all about the money. You know, you just got to navigate what to do to make your relationship
It's the way
work.
he said light bill, though. If all he could pay
She can't let go of that light bill. Candice cannot let go of the light bill.
If all he could do is pay a light bill, well, what kind of job all you could do is pay a light bill?
We gonna come back to this. But no, but speaking of relationships working, oh my God, rapper Jeezy shocked the world when he divorced his wife of 2 years, Jeannie Mae, just 1 year after welcoming their new daughter. Now, sources close to Jeezy said that the rapper felt suffocated. Sources close to Jeannie Mae said that it could have been because of her temper. And actually, a clip has resurfaced of her talking about her temper last year. Take a quick look at this clip.
For example, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something in my family. I've seen it in my grandmother. Saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me, right? But I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No.
Now, I'll be honest. It's not a lot of Hollywood divorces that shock me. This one shocked me. I didn't see this one coming. I didn't see them getting together, but I definitely didn't see them getting a divorce this quick, too.
I did.
But I could kind of see Jeannie Mae being a little bit of a hothead.
I just, no.
What?
Yeah. You know, it's the thing about it is people don't realize how bad a marriage can be or a relationship when the other person has anger issues. That's volatile.
Yeah.
It becomes an atmosphere that you can't breathe. You can't function. It's not healthy. It's sad that he had to get to this point, but she has said it before as well. She said, you know, her other relationships that she did have anger issues, but as soon as she tried it with Jeezy, he checked her quickly.
Yeah, he checked her real quick.
So that means this is something he had to keep checking. And checking. And checking. And if you feel like you're suffocating, then you don't need to be in that relationship.
But you know what's crazy to me? I know her ex-husband, what is it, Freddie Hartis? I know he is getting the last laugh because they got a divorce. One of the biggest reasons was because she didn't want to have a baby with him. So they got a divorce. Then she marries Jeezy, has a baby with him, and then he divorces her a year after the baby's born. Karma is a real thing, boy.
That's pretty bad. That might be somebody who has fits too, fits of rage. So that might be something she probably needs to take really seriously. And get checked out.
I hate that for him, though, man. I hate that for him.
But, you know, we got some advice for you on Reflect and Connect. So we know that working with people can be difficult. But
What's that to me? Yo, that was funny.
But we have to do it. There's ways that we can do it, though, to ensure that we have a safe and productive work environment. So Kris and I have some tips and some ideas from expertise, such as ourselves, how we can help you, you know, create a better workplace for yourself. So my first one is so simple. Acknowledge your similarities. A lot of the times you work with people who want you to do what they do, say what they say, and they don't express themselves properly. That means they don't take you for your similarities. You have different thoughts. You're going to react a different way. People have to respect that. Employees need to understand that when they're going to a superior or the other way around, they're not going to respond the way you would. Don't expect it. I think that causes a lot of issues when you try to say, oh, you should have said it this way. Oh, no, you should have said it that way. That's not the way to do it.
That's a good one. Another one, you guys, is, and I cannot stress this enough, talk privately. Whenever a conflict arises, Do not do that in front of an audience. Sometimes when tensions are already high, just having other eyeballs in on that conversation can escalate that tension. So if there is a conflict that arises with your coworker or superior, just address that in private.
We're good with that.
We are good with that.
We go out our way to.
Yeah. I learned that the
Yeah.
hard way with one of our upper level.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
This one is very important. Please admit your mistakes. It's
Oh, yeah.
okay to be wrong. Saying sorry is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of maturity. A lot of people that often can't say that they're wrong have a sense of entitlement, as if you owe them something. That's completely wrong. If you mess up, say you messed up. People are going to respect you a lot more rather than you just kind of brushing it underneath the table. So
Yeah.
admit when you're wrong, fess up to it, just apologize and move on.
Accountability is a real thing, y'all.
Yeah.
And here's another one. Focus on the behavior and not the personality. And an
That's
example
good.
would be, say if you're a coworker, you feel like if your coworker's talking too much. Don't say, I feel like he talks too much. Say, you've interrupted me 5 times in the meeting this morning. Focus on what they did versus making it a character thing. Because when you attack someone's character, then that's where it can escalate real quick. So just focus on the action and not make it about their personality.
And another one is consider the bigger picture. Choose your battles effectively. Is this going to change life if you bring this up? If this going to make things better, you have to know how to communicate, but you also have to have the bigger picture. You and your coworkers are there to build the company. Is that your main goal? Figure out what that goal is and concentrate on that.
I like that. And here's a simple one, y'all. It should be common sense, but common sense ain't common. Listen to what the other person is saying. Conflict resolution starts with listening, you guys. And be an active listener. Ask questions to make sure that you're validating what they're saying and try to empathize. That's really the key. If you listen to what people are saying, they usually communicate what's going on.
A lot of people listen to respond and not listen to hear.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. Don't be ready to communicate. Just absorb what that person is saying. But I hope these tips help you. You got to work with people every day in some kind of way, whether you have your own business or not. But we want it to be a safe work environment. But that's our show for today, guys. We got to get out of here.
We'll see you guys same time, same place. Be safe until tomorrow, y'all.